The money started to be dropped into the piggy bank. Watching the money constantly fall into the piggy bank, the players were instantly captivated and couldn't take their eyes off it. 91 people were eliminated, corresponding to 9.1 billion KRW in accumulated prize money. If the game were stopped here, this amount would be evenly distributed among the 365 remaining players, meaning each person would receive approximately 24.9 million KRW. Some people wondered why it was initially said that the total prize was 45.6 billion KRW. The lead staff explained that according to the game rules, every time a player is eliminated, 100 million KRW is added to the prize pool. If they continued playing and more people were eliminated, the prize would increase in proportion to the number of players. Thinking about the possibility of being the lucky one to win the final prize of 45.6 billion KRW, some players seemed to begin changing their minds. Despite constantly saying that the players' voluntary participation was the top priority, the organizers continued to bait them with an irresistible offer, making it hard for them to stop playing. Now, they were going to vote if they wanted to continue. They would press the green button if they wanted to leave. They would press the red button. The voting would go from bottom to top, meaning Ji-hoon, number 456, was the first to vote. He decisively pressed the red button and returned to his area. Following him, there were many players who chose to leave, but also a significant number who chose to continue. After narrowly escaping death, the players should have been terrified, and those choosing to leave should have outnumbered the others. But the organizers had anticipated this scenario, which is why the vote was held last. As a result, driven by the prize money, many players decided to take the risk and choose to continue. Seeing more and more people choosing to continue, Ji-hoon couldn't help but step in to stop them. The crowd immediately split into two factions. One side believed he was part of the program's plan, speaking confusingly and leading them to be anxious and lose, while the other side was grateful for him helping them survive and supported him. As the two sides exchanged words, Ji-hoon had no choice but to reveal the truth. 3 years ago, I participated in this game and won. But all the other players died, and no one survived. If you continue, you'll meet the same fate as them. Some players doubted his story, because if he had won, that meant he had received 45.6 billion KRW. With all that money, why would he come back? At that moment, player 230 arrived. Relying on Ji-hoon's experience of winning, he believed Ji-hoon would know how to survive the game and tried to convince everyone to continue. Even those who had chosen to leave started to waver. Ji-hoon was forced back to his area so the vote could continue. The votes were very close. When it came to player 007, the votes were tied. Player 006 chose to leave. Player 004 chose to continue. And the final decision rested with player 001. As expected, he chose to continue. After all, he was the leader. Someone had to break the game for it to be fair, right? At lunchtime, the leader brought a group of people to talk to Ji-hoon. He said he had been scared and wanted to leave, but because of Ji-hoon's earlier words, he decided to keep going. Everyone was curious about what the next game would be. Ji-hoon didn't hesitate to share. The second game was to carve the dalgona candy, which had 4 shapes. The easiest one was the triangle, while the hardest one was the umbrella. The leader pretended to complain, saying, "How stupid must someone be to pick the umbrella? Those people must be dead by now." Ji-hoon, of course, didn't realize that the leader was mocking him. Ji-hoon said that as long as they picked the easiest shape, they could easily pass the challenge. However, player 100 quickly reminded everyone, "Keep it down. If others hear and survive, the prize money won't increase." But Ji-hoon's goal was to help everyone survive and get out of here, so he would tell them everything he knew. Player 388 came over to get acquainted with Ji-hoon, saying he was a fan of his. Seeing his tattoos, Ji-hoon showed his own tattoos, and it turned out that both of them were former Marines. Watching them joke around and laugh, Ji-hoon couldn't help but feel happy too. Meanwhile, elderly player 149 gave her egg to player 222 because it was good for pregnant women. She had helped deliver many babies and could tell by the way the young woman walked that she was pregnant, likely due to give birth soon. However, the young woman had tightly bound her stomach, which was why she had been in pain during the previous game. Rapper player 230 was a victim of a scam by YouTuber player 333. It was because of him that he ended up in this cursed game. The two sides began arguing, which escalated into a fight. The leader stepped in to break it up and even gave rapper player 230 and his friend a beating. His actions were decisive and swift, with no unnecessary moves. But it almost resulted in someone losing their life. The crowd applauded and cheered for him. The two former Marines, seeing this, also decisively rolled up their sleeves.